Hi everyone, welcome to JavaScript coding interview series. In this particular video, you have to find the output of the below code and you have to provide a valid reason why you have come up with that particular answer. The question is, we have a variable place and we are assigning US, and we have an object department where there are actually two expressions and one variable. In the first expression, we are calling a method getStudentPlace. In the function, what we are trying to do is we are actually returning the place that we have initially created, and here actually we are trying to assign it to India, and we are having another expression place plus department, which is English, and there is a standard which is having value 100. Now we are trying to create another variable, okay, that is division, which is standard. And now what we are trying to do, we are trying to create another object, and we are actually trying to assign that object as the department value, and we are trying to print place details, department details, and standard. Okay, and the output options are, the first option is US in place details, English in department details, and standard as 100, and the second option is India as place details and department details as English and standard as 100, and the third option is undefined, and undefined, all the variables are undefined, and the fourth option is the reference error, because we are not creating this place details or department details or standard anywhere else, right, apart from this object, and it is throwing a reference error. So these are the four options. So please try it out from your end and see what you are getting as the output. So let's try from our end how we can actually get the output of this particular question. Okay, so let's go one by one. So we are having this particular script. Okay, this is the test.js file, and this script actually is being called from the index.html. so let me run this. Okay, so it is up and running, and let me inspect this. Okay, so right now, for now, before we get into the console.log, currently I will be just commenting that out, and let's go one by one. So here we are having a place variable, and here we are assigning the value US, and now we are actually trying to create an object of type of variable department. In that, there in object is having a key value pair. So there are, for first two key, there is an expression getStudentPlace, that is a function, and the value is India, and there is another expression, the place that we have created, place plus department, and this expression, so here it is assigning the value English, and there is another key that is standard, and the value is 100, and the function that is present in the department object is getStudentPlace, which is actually returning the place. Okay, so place is a string returning place, and we have another variable division, which is of value standard. Now what we are trying to do, we are trying to create another object, and we are in that object we are assigning the variable that we have, the object that we have created, that is department. And what is the output that we are going to print? We are actually printing place details, department details, and standard. Okay, but these variables we haven't declared anywhere else apart from this piece of code, right? So apart from that, you will not be able to see place details anywhere else. So either it will be like we have to debug and see what is the value that is going into the place details. Okay, now the expression that is there in the line 8, okay, this particular object, so what it does is this particular syntax, and we are assigning this object to this particular syntax. This is actually called object destructuring in JavaScript. Let's see what is object destructuring. Okay, so I have prepared a readme text over here. So what the destructuring, object destructuring in JavaScript means that it allows us to unpack the elements in an array or object. What is this mean? Okay, so what is the meaning of that? Unpacking the objects within an array and object. What does that mean is, I have a const variable. Okay, it's an array, and it is having value 1, 2, 1, 2. This is an array. Okay, and I want to unpack this particular array. What does that mean? I have to create, this means that I will be creating variables a and b, and what it does is through destructuring, the value a will variable a will be assigned the value 1 and b will be assigned the value 2. So it has actually been separated from the array. Now if you print console.log of a and console.log of b, it prints the individual values that is present in the array. So this is what destructuring means. We have unpacked the values that is present in the array. So similarly, so let's see in action what it is, what I meant by that. Okay, let me refresh that. So you can see here 1 and 2, right? So similarly, this is for the array. So similarly, we can actually create for the object as well. So const obj, okay, obj equal to, so it is having a key value pair b1 and a1 and b2. So this is the object. And how can I do restructuring in for objects is here I can put anything. The key we can put anything, but the value has to match. The key should be matching. Okay, sorry, key should be matching with the value with the key of the object. Okay, this one we can put anything. Okay, so comma, key has to match. Okay, this is C and this is D. Okay, and it is equal to obj. So what it does is, okay, so what it does is the a key will be assigned to variable C, and whatever value is there in the a key, that will be assigned to variable C, and whatever value is there in the b key, that will be assigned to the variable D. So we can print that. So console.log of C and D, console.log of C and D. Okay, in this case it will be 1 and 2. Okay, so again it is 1 and 2. So that's what destructuring means. Okay, so this is the way destructuring works. So that is what the first line means. It is unpack elements in an array or object. We can swap variables or mutate arrays. Okay, we can actually mutate the array, or we can swap the variables, like that we can do. So swapping the variables means, so this is array, right? So if you do array of 1, okay, and array of 2, that means the first and the second. Okay, so here what you have to do, here you have to do array of 2, okay, array of 2 comma array of 1. So like this we can actually mutate the array. Okay, mutate the array. So if you print array, so what it will be happening, it will be 2 1. Okay, it will be the array will be printed as 2 1. Okay, so 1 and undefined 2. Okay, so okay, so this is because I have put say 1 and 2, right? It should be index, right? 0 and 1, and here it should be 1 and 0. Okay, if it is not that, that's why it is printed undefined. So it is like 0 and 1 and 1 and 0. So you can see that array, original array has been mutated to 2 and 1. So that's what this is meant by. Okay, that's what this is meant by. Okay, so swap variables or mutate. Similarly we can swap the variables as well. So this we have already seen. When destructuring objects, we use curly braces with the exact name of what we have in the object. So I mentioned, right, the key name has to be matched. Okay, so we can use object destructuring to map to a dynamic property name. So in our question, actually this is a dynamic property. Okay, dynamic property in the sense the property key, actually they are trying to create dynamically on a function call. They are trying to return this create this particular key, right? So get student place, which returns a place. So what is the place? Place you have to return, right? So now it is India. So get student place means it will be returning place. Okay, and what is that place? Place details, it will be India. So in department, what is that particular key it corresponds to? This is what the key. Okay, so this is also key. So whatever value that is present in the key, that is here in this case it is India, that value will be stored in the variable place details. So if we similarly, whatever key is there in place plus department, similar key we are having over here. So whatever value is there in that particular key, that value will be stored in the department details. Similarly, what is division? Division means standard, right? Division is standard. So standard key, what is the standard key? Standard key is having a value of 100, so that will be stored in the variable 100. So that is the way it works. Okay, now if you do the console.log, and let me remove all this. Okay, so if I do the console.log of that, so now if you refresh this particular page, you can see it is printing India, English and 100. So that is the way destructuring works. So whatever key, okay, in the initial object, whatever key it is having, and the destructured array, so the whatever key it is matching, that value will be stored in the new variable that is creating. So that's what in the dynamic case it will be having. So instead of the property name, we can use the expression as well. So that is why the expression will be inside the square brackets. So we had this expression within the square brackets. Okay, so the expression must evaluate to a string. Okay, so the key will be a string, so the expression must evaluate to a string. So I hope you got an idea about object destructuring. You can explore more on that, and that's very interesting. Like object destructuring, you can apply for complex scenarios as well. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Thanks a lot for watching.